Jeez. Last time I was that EP, I hyperfixated on fictional women for more than a month at a time. Wait, what time is it? What the scallop? Nothing super crazy could have happened in the months that I've been gone, right? Right? Finally, after 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to catch up on Kamen Rider! Good morning after evening, my beautiful people. My name is All Night, and if I had a nickel for every time I've apologized for taking forever to make a video, I'd have enough money to make YouTube my full-time career. Last time I took this long to make a video, I was hyperfixating on fictional women. So now it's time for me to hyperfixate on Japanese men in rubber suits. And also fictional women. The people have asked, and now I shall deliver. My first video talking about Kamen Rider Gavv focused on the first 10 episodes. Our first impressions of the show and its theming. By the way, massive thank you for the love on that video. Getting to talk about the stuff that I love and seeing the community just pile in and talk about all the fun we're having, that is the kind of shit I do this for. So again, I can't thank you enough for coming out to check it out. Link in the description. But now the show has, well, continued. Jeez, how far in are we? Oh, holy guacamole, we gotta get moving! My name is All Night, and this is why Kamen Rider Gavv continues to be a sensational second survey! We've got a lot more ground to cover in 15 or so episodes, so I encourage you to watch the show yourself using perfectly legal methods to stay with me here. But we'll mostly be talking about what's new around Kamen Rider Gavv, seeing as the last time we talked about its overall story, theming, action, and suit designs, all of that stuff has, well, marginally stayed the same, even 20-some-odd episodes in. Yeah, Gavv really do be him, what can I say? I'd say the show is starting to grow into a marriage drama more than anything else.
Here I come.
Oh, great heaven! Damn, I really do get why Twitter had a meltdown when that episode came out. But hey, not all good things last, right? Surely if Game of Thrones is any indication, anything that starts out phenomenal can easily shit the bed in less than a season, right? No, I'm not bitter, he is. So, we'll touch on the big story beats while also talking about all the new elements that continue to make Kamen Rider Gavv the peak cinema we know it to be.
Amazing!
It wouldn't be tokusatsu if we didn't have some kind of new form at least once every couple of episodes to keep the kids buying toys. And boy howdy is Gavv delivering. Shoma continues the trend of eating stuff that he likes and popping out a gochizo or two if it's a food that really resonates with him. And the show continues this trend with forms like Guru-kan, Bushel, and K-King. 2 out of those 3 are just more and more cake, I realize. Damn, we really are running out of food now, huh? Guru-kan I particularly love because a couple of Kamen Rider seasons will usually tout some kind of mecha form that's just a heavy-duty firearms form for the season. 01 had something similar. It was ultimately a fully CGI form that showed up in only a handful of episodes. But Guru-kan takes the edge here by being a fully practical suit. Now look, I'm not a CG snob. I'm not gonna be out here saying that everything should or should not be practical. But balancing practical with healthy amounts of CGI in movies or TV, it's always my sweet spot in selling something fantastical while believing it's really there. And I'll be damned if this giant lollipop mech really do just be there. And it keeps coming back, too. One other thing I greatly appreciate is how Kamen Rider Gavv loves to just shuffle his forms. He will go from Chips to Marshmallow to the mech form. It's insanity, I love it. Kudos to the suit actor, by the way. It really must suck not having thumbs. Can't relate, dumb idiot. Oh, wait. But the real star of the show for the halfway point of the season is Cake King. Or K-King. K-King. This form falls in the same bucket as the potato chips or marshmallows for me. This form shouldn't work from a character design standpoint, but the strawberry accents emphasizing the royal theme of the crown. He's K-King, so his gochizos are instead whipped cream soldiers, just like how his own siblings can make minions. And I'll be damned if the first couple of fight scenes with K-King don't look straight ripped out of Fire Emblem, for Christ's sakes. I mean, just look at this! is clearly his final form, right? Damn, he really did peak in high school here. We can only go down from here. K-King is him. K-King is peak. And who the fuck is that? Blizzard. Mother-lovin'. Sorbet! Ice powers in most superhero media are vastly underrated and underappreciated in my opinion. We don't really get to see just how cool they can be outside of, well, I don't know, Disney, I guess. But I genuinely can't let this show keep getting away with this, man. I thought we hit 10 out of 10 with K-King, and all of a sudden they pull an 11 out of 10 out of their ass. This is bullshit! It's a shame, too, that Shoma is getting the lion's share of cool new forms here, because my poor boy Valon is sorely missing in the extra forms department at the moment. He's got the donut form, which... Look, the form's creative, if nothing else, but it's shown up like twice so far, and his power set just breaks down to having the ability to throw pool floaties at people. If that's your cup of tea, no judgment here. This is a safe space. But I suppose that this may be changing here very soon. We just got Chokehold, which is Honto's newly acquired dark and edgy form, which also comes packaged with drug addiction. Kids show, by the way. This form boils down to Kamen Rider Angry Eyes, but you didn't hear that from me. However, despite how underwhelming I may think the form looks, it does have one saving grace of having, bar none, the most aura-filled henshin of the season so far. Honto, for all his faults, continues to be an enjoyable foil to Shoma. And even if he doesn't get 1,000,000,001 forms, he sure as hell is him. Oh, and Bushel Noel is there too, I guess. Anyway.
A spoon, Morty? A spoon?
I'm sorry!
There's a pile of silverware next to you and you throw me the one thing that can never kill anything?
If you're starving for new riders, we sure as hell aren't running out anytime soon. The newest adds to the superpowered cast are Lakia, also known as Kamen Rider Gavv, and Bitter Gavv. We'll explain that clusterfuck in a moment here. Lakia is a full-blooded Granute who joins the ranks of Stomach Inc. to secretly infiltrate their organization and take them down from within. His little brother got addicted to dark treats, so he joined up with the bad guys for all of, well, an episode, before Shoma continued with his base as fuck hot streak and converted Lakia to the good guy side. But not before making his boyfriend mad at him and getting decked in the schnoz. Has anyone checked on Shoma since that punch? That didn't look staged or slowed down. I think he may have actually had his fade running. Holy schmoly. Lakia, my homeboy, my Granute from another Glotta. He's him. I'm sorry, y'all. Shoma and Honto, I don't want to play with you anymore. Lakia is the one. Sure, his character archetype is just rock-eating stoic edgelord who doesn't say much, but when it is time,
HENSHIN.
His first fight alone, he was folding Shoma and Valon like goddamn napkins. Looked straight out of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I loved it.
You're a colorful punch.
And that's only his base form. And his base form is goddamn pudding. And his goddamn antennas are goddamn spoons. And I can't goddamn God take it any goddamn more. He is as endearing an edgelord as they come. And I love it. Also, just as a stupid side note, his bow turns into a chainsaw. First of all, wrong. But second, the damn bow also sounds like a TIE fighter. I am physically in shambles, dude. What is going on? Vrom's inclusion also helps to remind us all that this show's choreography is second to none, man. The way these suit actors are moving should honestly be celebrated, as the work that they do is massively underrated. And how every episode can be a toss-up between a level in Sifu versus a Dragon Ball Z episode. And on top of that, his actor kills it when it gets emotional. The voice acting is top-notch for what I believe good voice acting to be in Japanese. I don't know the language, but you get the point. His monologue with Shoma, willing to help him avenge his brother's death from Stomach Inc., that... yeah, his brother. Super quick. The reason Lakia is running around as a Kamen Rider Flan is that he was a normal Granute living a normal life with his little bro until eventually his brother got addicted to dark treats and became an agent of Stomach Inc. Bingo bango, he goes through withdrawal, kids show by the way, and then runs away from home only to get axed by somebody. Lakia wants revenge on Stomach Inc., so he infiltrates the ranks and becomes a special agent for them. He actually has a unique jellyfish-like ability where he can lash out his little tendrils that allow him to make people happy with his touch. When people are happy, they become higher quality ingredients for dark treats. Bingo bango, this makes Lakia Stomach Inc.'s favorite employee of the month, until Nyelv steps in with his own silly plans of testing out some new hardware on the Kamen Rider Bros. Nyelv gives Lakia his own HENSHIN device in an attempt to take down Shoma and Hanto for good, but this backfires spectacularly in his face because Shoma is, you guessed it, and converts Lakia to the good side. Dang, it sure is rough as hell over there for poor Nyelv. I wonder how Suga's doing on the other side of the science fair. What the scallop?
Outstanding. Now, let's bite all the heads off, pile them up in the corner.
So, the latest subplot as of the recording of this episode is that Suga continues to be Sussa and ends up stealing some of Shoma's DNA. He's made it very, 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 very clear to the audience at this point that he's been working with Nyelv only for the shiggles, and doesn't really care about turning people into dark treats at this point. He's just in it for the love of the game and to science all over himself. You sick fuck. Suga reverse engineers a whole army of clones of Shoma and uses his Granute DNA to allow them to have similar power sets to Shoma: eating, making gochizo, and transforming. Bitter Gavv's design as a whole, neuron activation. It's giving a mix of Kamen Rider and maybe Venom design philosophies. Very spiky too, in of course dark contrast to Gavv's soft and round disposition. With a clone subplot of course brings a whole ordeal of the world thinking that Shoma is the random terrorist walking around punching old ladies and stealing snacks. And no, that first part wasn't a joke. Check this shit out. What I appreciate about Kamen Rider Gavv is that, we'll touch on this again when we talk about Hanto's piece in all of this, is that this show doesn't waste time. Ever. The Shoma being framed for being evil subplot lasts for all of an episode and a half, to which Sachika, the world's best social media manager ever, helps Shoma clear his name after defeating the first Bitter Gavv. But these cartoonishly evil bastards keep springing up like weeds, so it's up to the 3 brain cells in Sachika to keep their asses in check until they can deal with Suga for shadowing. I am so thankful we don't waste time on character development by forcing the characters to hate each other, or having characters that have no business believing their best friend has turned evil to all of a sudden turn on them. That is why Sachika is best mother, and Glada's best mommy, but we'll get there in a minute.
You've got a friend in me.
Yeah, they know. They know. Oh, they know, dude. From the romance novel to the way Shoma be looking at Hanto. Yeah. Oh, they know. Aside from romantic implications, Shoma and Hanto's relationship in this arc is really the star of the drama here. Hanto is, of course, on a Granute hate train, wanting to kill all Granutes regardless of their good intentions. Shoma, being as based as he is, still tries to see the good in all Granutes, even the weird crab guy that had a beach volleyball episode with Hanto. fucking love this show, man. This dichotomy helps drive a ton of conflict throughout the show, with us learning more and more about Shoma's past in real time alongside him. Such as learning that Shoma was there when Hanto's mom got fucking melted in a vat of acid. What? Yep. Nope. Yep. I checked the script 7.5 times now. And last I checked, I was watching a show about a silly boy who becomes a Candyman superhero and kicks monsters. Not fucking Saw! At the current stage of the show, Hanto and Shoma are keeping their distance with one another. Hanto is, of course, growing more and more conflicted that Shoma is not only a granute, but was also present at the time of his mother's murder. Yeah, I get it, that's a little fucked. But back to the whole this show resolves stupid bullshit pretty quickly segment, Hanto was on the Shoma hate bus for all of 56 seconds, had a moment of self-reflection, got duped by bitter Gavv for all of 94 seconds, and then they kissed and made up and lived happily ever after. Okay, maybe that last part was a little exaggerated, but there was this really dope scene where Hanto and Shoma fucking talked. Jesus Christ, if you asked half the characters in From to do that for more than 10 seconds, they would have figured out how to get home after the first 2 episodes. You can now draw a line directly from Kamen Rider Gavv to From. Congratulations. My taste in media will have no consistency whatsoever. Now here's Sleep Token.
I've got soul of lesbian, dead got space dust for your fuel.
Stomach ink, stomach ink, stomach ink, man. Honestly, these guys get better and better with each episode. Except Longo, honestly. He just continues to be the lazy dad character sitting in the chair pointing at shit for everyone else to do and just go do the thing. It's possible that this will change in the final arc, but for right now, nah. Also, yes, this is the part where I call myself out from my last video here. Jeeb and Sheeta, they are not twins, but rather siblings. And Jeeb is not a chick. Jeeb's a dude. And I am so sorry about that. But Jeeb, you're fabulous, and no one will ever take that away from you. The unfortunate last development of Stomach Inc. is that Sheeta got absolutely wigwammed by Shoma when he first got upgraded to K-King. So now Jeeb is crashing out harder like anyone's ever crashed out before because they were inseparable siblings for all of their lives. Driven to madness and desperation at the thought of being married off and separated to rival families because they simply couldn't stop Shoma interfering with Stomach's business. And yep, let's go ahead and add arranged marriage to the list of what the fuck are these doing in my kids show. Nonetheless, outside of Jeeb, who's been MIA for a couple of episodes, Nyelv is Nyelving and made Vrom, like I said, Longo ain't doing shit, and Glada!
愛しい人よ、グロッタ。君は朝日のように明るく、燃える残り火のように暗い。君のために心が痛む。私を踏みつけ。神の愛のために、私を踏みつけ。
Sorry, my subtitle slipped out there. Glada has thankfully finally gotten a little more to do for the past couple of episodes. Though she kinda just kicked Shoma and Lakia's ass, unironically said Ara Ara.
Ara.
Fuck. And left. I hope she gets more to do as the eldest sister of the troupe because the mission is clear at this stage. Lakia must join forces with Shoma, and Hanto's gotta get his head out of his ass and work with a granute for once, to ultimately take down the empire that is Stomach Inc. Though for the foreseeable future, the current problem is to contend with Suga and his boundless army of Shoma clones. Only time will tell if he grows to be comparable to Stomach Inc. in terms of power, and what other big bads may be waiting in the wings to spring up once the dust settles. All in all, Kamen Rider Gavv just continues to impress, man. In a day and age where superhero media is finally growing out of its deconstruction phase, we're entering a reconstruction phase, where superhero media isn't afraid to be ridiculous or lighthearted anymore, where it isn't afraid to embrace the mundane and the cliche, and simply make characters enjoyable and good for the sake of being enjoyable and good. You're allowed to have layers to a jawbreaker, but you gotta work at it to see it all eventually. And it's best to enjoy each layer on its own rather than forcing complexity where there didn't need to be any. Did I just pull the best fucking candy metaphor of the century for goddamn Kamen Rider? Like and subscribe for that shit, because his writing might just be fire. What made the first arc good continues to impress with the second act. And now, as we gear up for the final stretch of Kamen Rider Gavv, I'm immensely hyped. The forms, the villains, all of it. And I hope you'll stick around for when we eventually wrap up Kamen Rider Gavv and see if the whole season can stick the landing on its last course. Sorry again for the hiatus. I really didn't want it to take as long as it did. Think of the holidays as a good time for me to hibernate and get my mental back together so that I can get back into the swing of things and give you guys the quality content you deserve. So to those that have stuck around since my last Kamen Rider video, I promise you, you shall be rewarded again in due time when we see the finish line to Kamen Rider Gavv. My name is All Night. And do not forget to stay loved, keep loving, and have a wonderful night.